everybody, this is Valerie Greenwell and welcome to Quilt Artistry. This week I received a package in the mail with a note asking me to complete a decades-old quilt project that someone had found that belonged to their mother. So what I'm looking at is a package of 24 Sun Bonnet Sues from about the 1930s. And they were incomplete. And so what I have here is I have blocks. Let me see if I can find one here. I have blocks of these Sun Bonnet Sues, and they are hand stitched on muslin, and they did the hand embroidery around the outside, so you can see that stitching. But they were never put into a quilt setting. This friend of mine asked me to complete this project. So my job is to get all of these Sun Bonnet Sues ready to put into a quilt setting, and then, of course, put it together and quilt it. So what I did was I found this really nice small scale flower with a teal background color and a matching solid. And so together, I think these look very nice. So what I did next was I went to EQ and I made a simple layout. I had 24 blocks to work with, and she wanted this to be a king size quilt. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get a king size out of this, but I'm certainly going to try. So I came up with a 5x5 layout, and of course I was one block short. So I'm just going to do the center block with the patterned print that I'm putting in the outside, and I think that's going to look very nice. So what I did was I got a very good grade of muslin. Normally I don't use just plain muslin on the back, but this one is a very nice muslin, and it's 118 inches wide, so I think it's going to be plenty big enough for what I'm working with. But keeping it with the muslin will allow the background fabrics of this kind of tie in with what's on the back. And of course, keeping it muslin on the backing also allows me to keep it as close to the period as possible. Now, once I get these all trimmed up, and I'm looking at this, you can see they're not square. I'm debating on whether or not to trim these square or whether to trim them rectangular. I haven't quite decided yet. The pattern layout that I put in EQ, I assumed a 12-inch square, so I don't know. I may be altering this a little bit. But so anyway, once I get these trimmed down to their proper size, and I get them all set into their into the setting, then I'll begin the quilting on that. I'm thinking that I'm probably going to go ahead and do this custom quilting. Last year, Sweet Dreams gave us this fantastic collection of fill and trim patterns. So I'm thinking about putting some of those into the background of these. But I haven't really decided on patterns yet. So I'll have to come back to that once I get the quilt top together. And I'll have a little bit of time to consult with my client and see what her vision for the quilting is. But so that's where I'm at, and that's what I'm working on today. And I should say also that this is the first time that I've been asked to assemble blocks that were from so long ago. And so my question to you guys is, how do you guys work on these when you are when you're asked to do something like this? Do you try to keep it as close to period as possible? Do you put your own spin on things? How do you look at these and how do you assemble them? I'm curious and I want to know. Tell me in the comments. Tell me what you do. This is Valerie Greenwell, and thank you for hanging out with Quilt Artistry.